are back.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we are getting ready to start our conversation with Jenny Lovell. Of course, Jenny is our mental health therapist who broke down all kinds of issues for us. And today she is going to be tackling keeping up and setting realistic resolutions. So before we get into that conversation, we wanted to set the tone a bit. And if you needed a bit of motivation to see how you can be able to achieve things that seem impossible, we've got just the story for you. A young man that lost over 150 pounds in just 9 months.
Wow.
Right here in Belize. Let's check that out.
Wow.
This is the story of Manuel Grant.
Wow.
It started with the scare of his life.
It wasn't like someone was grabbing me in my chest. It felt like someone was stabbing me from the inside. I felt both my legs actually they started to get weak. And and after that, I just felt myself drooling, right? And I was no longer able to sustain my weight because of how weak my legs felt, and I just fell to the ground. That was when I realized, I think you're gonna die. And I think this is it. This is the big one.
You said that to yourself.
I said that to myself, like, I'm gonna die alone at home. I'm gonna die while urinating on myself. And I'm gonna die at over 400 pounds on a big Monday or Tuesday morning. And that's literally gonna be the legacy for my life.
That led to one last bargain, a desperate plea to God.
And I said, I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I'm begging you for one. And I said, if you let me survive this today, I'm going to turn everything around.
That was March 30th, 2020, just a little over 9 months ago, when 28-year-old Manuel Grant, who at the time weighed 410 pounds, believed he was having a heart attack and prayed for one last chance at life. It was his wake-up call.
In the beginning, I set a 250 weight goal for myself because that seemed so impossible and far-fetched. I was like, I'll just throw that number. I'll never reach it. It was just taking it one day at a time and 1 week at a time, and every week going to weigh and things like that. I was like, okay, the weight is slowly coming off. Yeah. And little by little every day, that 250 weight goal, it seemed a little more possible.
Step by step, he progressed. He swapped his habits of excessive emotional eating to carefully measured low-calorie foods. He started exercising and gained motivation as he shed the pounds.
If your diet isn't one that you can see yourself on for the rest of your life, then that is not the diet for you. I just started worrying about calories, and that's what weight loss is. It doesn't matter what diet you're on. It doesn't matter if it's keto, paleo, veganism. It doesn't matter. It comes down to one simple mathematical equation. That's calories in, calories out. Right? As long as you are burning more calories than you are consuming, you will lose weight. And the weight just kept coming off, 7 pounds in 1 week, 8 pounds in 1 week, and it just became like this high I was chasing. Actually, in the beginning, I couldn't do any crazy. I could barely walk for 10 minutes, right? But I walked for 10 minutes. Although it was hard, although I was out of breath for most of it. Then I started being able to run a bit. And now every day I do 60 minutes of cardio, but I break it up into walking fast walking, running, and skipping rope.
Slowly, the new Manuel began to reveal himself, no longer antisocial and hiding from his own reflection. However, he's still adjusting to the new person in the mirror.
I really don't know who he is because I was used to never looking into mirrors. I never passed where cars were because I didn't want to maybe get a glimpse of my reflection because I hated myself so much. And the worst part about a prison like this that you build is that you built it yourself. You built this prison on your own, like you literally did this to yourself. And that's the worst part because you don't have anybody else to blame. And now I look in the mirror and I'm not 100% happy with everything that I see. I pick myself apart, but the guy in the mirror now, he has hope. And that is something that I did not have before.
All right, let's see it. This is size
That I used to use.
size 56 with extensions.
With extensions.
He has lost 165 pounds in a little over 9 months and down 20 pant sizes. But with all the weight he's lost, Manny says he's gained so much more.
I look at everything with a positive mindset, and I choose to see the positive in every situation. And I think that's made me a much more pleasant person to be around. And I think that's just as important as the physical aspect, which, is great. Yeah. But having a better mindset changes everything.
It's not over yet. As he says, he still has 3 more months to reach another weight loss goal.
I did set another weight goal for myself. It's 210. I think I'm 6 feet tall, so I think that would be, 210 would be ideal.
Manuel has shared his story online with the hopes of inspiring others to do the same.
It's become a cliche at this point where people say, if I can do it, anyone can. No, if I can do it, I was literally at death's door. If I can do this, there's no reason why anyone else in this world can't do what I did.
I'm lost for words. I feel extremely emotional about it, simply because a goal is wow. Yeah. Mr. Grant, my brother, congratulations. You are a true definition of hope. And I'd like to wish you all the very best. And I'll tell you what, within the next 2 or 3 months, like you mentioned, we would definitely want to have you on to talk about strength building, and what got you over that hump. We would definitely want to talk about it. So Marlene, that was a great, inspiring story. Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It was, and I think it's the perfect way to start off this conversation. We have Jenny with us.
Hi, Jen.
And we're talking about setting realistic goals and following through on them. And what better example could we have than that? What seemed impossible, he managed to do. And in the middle of a pandemic, when all of us were just kind of, it's assuming it's all worse.
Yeah. And you know what, like you mentioned, in the middle of a pandemic where folks, our mindset is totally all over the place, actually, whereby you want to resort to something else to try and feel good about this big change that have occurred. Mm-hmm. But Mr. Grant showed you that, it's all about your mind, and it's all about that will to live and that drive to go on. Jenny, good morning.
Good morning.
What are your thoughts?
Oh my goodness, that is wonderful. Congratulations to that young man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. But you know what? It brings this topic that we're going to talk about. It really makes this very important.
Yep.
Because I keep saying to folks, change doesn't happen overnight. Change takes a while.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he did a lot of things, because I could tell, just going by what he said, he went through the 5 stages of change. Now I'm going to say it towards the end. I'm just going to give him some cautions, because stages of change, the way it works, the last stage is relapse. Sometimes you'll fall off, but never give up. You get up, brush yourself up, and you start again. Remind yourself why you're doing this. Go back through the stages and just pick yourself up again.
Yeah.
He picked himself up, and he went through the process. He went through the exact 5 stages.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic what he's done. My goodness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm calling this topic today, after the celebration, how to best
keep the resolutions.
Thank you. I'm not saying stuff here.
I will help you. You know that. Yeah.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. So we're jumping straight into the stages of change.
Okay.
And the thing about change, there are 3 things you have to remember with this model. This is called the Prochaska model, or the trans-theoretical model, right? There is, first of all, it prepares you. There's a readiness to change. Something makes you ready to make that change. You also have to understand that there are barriers to change. Some people can stay in the 2nd stage for up to a year, up to a year. He had a life-threatening thing happen to him. So he made up his mind. He jumped through pre-contemplation, into contemplation, and right smack into action. and was able to sustain it for all those months. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Normally people can take a long time to make the changes they need to make.
So
So go ahead.
can I just ask you, so pre-contemplation and contemplation, I can think of so many people and I can think of so many examples of people who are stuck there. You say for a year, but I know much longer. You know, that
Well, I
thing
said it can be up to a year just to be in contemplation, thinking about it.
yeah, just that
Very
far off dream that you say you're gonna do, but you never do it.
That's
What keeps
right.
us stuck there?
So let me just remind people what pre-contemplation is. Pre-contemplation, you're not even thinking you have a problem.
Yeah.
With alcoholics, we talk about it, them being in denial, right? We can be in denial about our weight too, you know. But it's ignorance of the problem. There's an ignorance there. Strategies, you want to really give the person lots of information, or they can go get lots of information.
Yeah.
Go online, find out what kinds of things. If you're thinking that about weight, for example, go and read up about strokes. Go read up what cholesterol does to your body.
Yeah.
Read what diabetes can do to your body. Start informing yourself, because if you keep eating the way you do, or you keep doing the things you're doing, eventually those are the things that are going to affect you. You see? So it's really important during pre-contemplation that if you're the person trying to help someone, is to give them lots of information. You're educating them about all the different things that are affecting them.
Yeah.
Okay, so now they're starting to think about what you're saying because of all the information you've shown them, right? So they're now in contemplation. But contemplation brings a lot of ambivalence, right? Well, I really want to lose weight, but I don't know if I want to go out there, go run. So we talk about, you don't have to run. Incorporate exercise into your routine, your daily routine. Walk to work instead of taking a taxi or driving.
Yeah.
Or and when you go to Mirab, instead of taking the elevator, well, it's upstairs, you have to go up the escalator. So that's not a good example. But you want to take the stairs where possible.
Yeah.
Park your car far away in the parking lot to give yourself, incorporate exercise or some movement into your day.
Yeah.
So now you're in contemplation, you have conflicting emotions because I want to, but and so this is why people stay in contemplation so long, because they're really ambivalent about making the change that's necessary for them.
Yeah.
So one of the things I like to do is have them put a sheet of paper, put a line down the middle. What are the pros or what are the cons of losing weight, of stopping your drinking, whatever it is that they're looking at possibly changing. I want them to put the pros and cons of making this change. This way you can confirm whether they're ready or not, or if they have the ability to even make the change. They have to see it because they have to buy into it. And so I can sit here and try to encourage all I can, but they have to buy into it.
Yeah.
And so in contemplation, they're still thinking. Now, you know when a change has occurred when they start now preparing, you see. They've gotten enough information, and so now they start wanting to make some sort of change. So they're preparing. So like in that young man's case, right? He decided he's going to eat differently. He's going to start eating healthy. You don't really have to follow a diet. But if you are going to follow a diet, one of the ones that's really good, for example, is the Mediterranean diet. And all that says is eat with colors. You want to make sure that you put things on your plate that are red, green, put all colors on there.
Yeah.
That's how you get all the vegetables that you need to eat, right?
Yeah.
You have to have some nuts, things like that. So you're looking at something healthy rather than doing a diet, because I'll tell you, diets you're setting yourself up for failure just by dieting.
Yep.
Because people give up when they don't see the weight coming off quickly as they think they should.
Yeah.
Or they lose the weight and then they get cocky because, our mind plays tricks with us. and they'll start, okay, well, I can have just a little of that because I did so good today. Or I did so good this week. I can reward myself by going out and having an ice cream, right?
Yeah.
And so that in that preparation, you really want to have them experiment with small changes. So How about having a salad rather than eating rice and beans today? Have a small salad.
Yeah.
And get them to do those kinds of things and gradually have them start preparing. But in preparation, they are making small changes and testing the waters,
Okay.
right? And also, you're still collecting information. You're giving them information about change. Have them write down goals. Have them prepare a plan of action.
Yeah.
Which is why I showed the vision board at the end,
Yeah.
right? We'll get to it hopefully real quickly. You want to get them self-help books. We don't have any, we don't have Weight Watchers here or any of those programs because the support of friends and family is really, really important
Yeah.
in helping people to get over that hump. You see? After the preparation, then now they're moving into action.
Yeah.
This is when they actually start now doing bigger things.
Yeah.
They're eating a salad, and now they've taken red meat out of the diet.
Yeah.
They're eating things like 3 ounces of meat. The recommended thing is eating only 3 ounces of meat, right? Have you ever looked at our plates when we go eat chicken or something? Oh my God, that's like a whole pound of meat we're eating.
But I mean, beyond the weight loss though, because sometimes for people it's like saving money or it's going after some kind of goal that you had.
Yeah.
The trigger for action is one that is often very hard. I know for some of us, we want to feel like we have it all prepared before you move to action. What's your advice there?
You have to start. Just start. Start with small things. One of the things I like to tell people, if you want to change things like your money, pay yourself first.
Yeah.
Take 10% off the top of your paycheck and put that into the credit union, the bank. Put it into a savings account. That's paying yourself. Not not going to the hairdresser and getting a hairdo, or getting your nails done.
Yeah.
Go 10% of your check for you. Put it in your savings account.
Yeah.
And that way now you are beginning to make small changes.
Yeah.
And like I said,
So you won't wait until you have extra money to put into it. Just do it 1 month.
That's the way you begin to make small changes.
Yeah.
Remember I said change takes time,
Yeah.
but you have to start small. Otherwise, I'll tell you people get overwhelmed and then they stop. We're getting to where they stop and then they fall right off. What they call it, they backslide.
Yeah.
They fall right off, right? So after preparation, then there's action. They get out and start doing stuff. So like if you're saving, you start putting that money. And I wouldn't advise you put it in a piggy bank at home because you'll go touch it. Actually open a credit union book or something where you can take that 10% and put it there as savings. It's paying yourself. See it as paying yourself. See the weight loss as paying into your health.
That's right.
Right? See the exercise that you're doing as helping your heart. You really have to find other things to look at. And like I said, it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. This is what I don't like about resolutions, because people say those things and it's like, yeah, I'll be over this in a week.
Yeah.
We really have to look at how to make lasting change.
Okay.
And that takes time.
So
Okay?
we try to maintain it once we start.
Right.
Okay.
Now, once you start the action, that's where the fun begins now, because you start and you reward your success. Don't forget to reward your success. That's one of the flaws with dieting is that people feel like they're giving something up. And you really have to see this as being a life change for your health or a life change for your money. You have to look at it differently. So you also have to change your mindset and see what you're doing in a different way. Okay, so some strategies: reward your successes, seek out social support. That's really important. You've got to have somebody who is there to keep you. So find a support system. It's we don't have groups here that people can go to, but find friends who will go out walking with you. find someone that if you're going to make something, you make it one day, they make it another day, but something healthy. But there are so many things that you can do to get the support system. The young man did it all on his own, which for me is so remarkable because he got out and did that on his own and he stuck to it, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're able to maintain this for 6 months, you reach the next stage, which is called maintenance. If you're able to do it for 6 months.
Yeah.
But what happens, it's right at that point, a lot of people undermine their own selves.
Yeah.
You know, because we get cocky, ooh, I made it, I got lost all this weight. And that's when you start thinking, okay, your mind starts playing tricks on you. Oh, I can have a little of this, I can have a little of that. I don't have to have all this green or all this red stuff. I'll have a little bit of meat, a little bit more meat. And we start undermining our own selves. So it's really, really, really very important that in maintenance, you're really paying attention and not fall off the wagon. And don't lie to yourself that you can try this and you can have that, you can have that. You have to learn through the process, discipline, self-discipline.
As you say this process, one of the things I'm thinking about is kind of, especially for people who are breaking a bad habit, that's the most common thing. You know, you reach a point where you're like, oh, you know, I haven't hung out with my friends and drank for a long time. I can handle one now. I can handle a couple now. And then, you know, the next week it's the same. And then you're back where you started.
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing. So especially someone who is, say, an alcoholic. Yeah. They can't go back and have one. Once they go on, they fool themselves into thinking they can have one, they'll be back on the wagon. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. Right? So it's really important that you are learning new habits. And it settles in after the 6-month period. Now you're in maintenance. In maintenance, that's crucial because, again, that's where we begin to think that, I can just have a little one. And no, some people can't have a little one. Yeah. You can't go out there and have that ice cream because you love ice cream. So you go to have an ice cream. It's going to be a big ice cream. And then you'll think, okay, well, last week I was able to do that and I didn't gain any weight. So this week
I did it the first time, so I could do it again. I'm sure I could do it again. And,
and we fool ourselves, you know?
Yeah. I think, Jen, it's all about changing the perspective, that mental perspective that you've got about yourself and what you've done. I think also what really sticks to me, Jen, is you mentioning about maintenance. Because the first 6 months is actually doing the work, but you need to maintain the work afterwards so you could continue on.
Yes. No, this is important. If you fall off the wagon, you've got to get right back on. Yep. You cannot say, well, I do it already, so I might as well just go out and have the whole thing, right? Yeah. You really have to catch yourself where you fall off.
And this is such an easy path to kind of just going back to where you start, because let's say, for example, if it's a day where you overindulge on food when you've been eating healthy, sometimes the next day you can wake up and say, well, you know, I done fall off, I'll just go, you know. But what you're saying is that after relapse, you can go right back into the same places all over again. That's the key part.
Go back. And one of the main things is go back and read the information you were reading. Yeah. Go back and remind yourself why you're on this journey in the first place. Mm-hmm. Go back and start doing the things that you did in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It's okay to do that. Okay?
And we're human. We're human. Sometimes we do, you know, fall short. Mm-hmm. We make commitments to ourselves, to others. You know, we never know what people are dealing with emotionally at a time. And sometimes we fall off the wagon. So I think that's, I mean, I don't know if you want to share something there before people feel too hard on themselves about it.
Hey, just look at me. I keep falling off the wagon. Yeah. I lose the weight, I gain the weight. And then I go back to the beginning and I go again. You know, the thing is, I looking at this year, I'm looking again. No, I'm really going to get serious about this because as you get older, it gets harder.
You're totally right. But Jen, also I wanted to throw in here another important that you mentioned is a support. There's support group. So how do you, in terms of building your support, what would be the mindset especially trying to go into that support group, and then again identifying those who are actually on the same level as you in wanting change.
Well, listen to me. The most important person to get on board with you is your partner. Okay? You've got to get your partner on board with you, or whoever prepares your food. All right? You have some older people, some moms, they want to pump food into you because that's how they show you love. But you really have to get them on board and go, Mom, please don't make or please don't offer me another nice bread pudding or potato pung on Sunday. Hide it from me. I don't want to see it. And explain to her how important that is. So that then she is on board with you. She will make sure that she protects you from that. Your sisters, your brothers. You have to get them on board. These are the people where you're going to go eat, or these are the people who can undermine you or help you.
Yeah.
So you've got to get them on board with you. Okay? Really, really important.
All right, so now we're talking about those SMART goals, right?
No. We still have relapse.
Oh.
Sometimes if a person falls off and they have, for example, let's use food.
Yeah.
You get that one ice cream, right? And then they give up, and that's a lapse. You can easily go back and say, okay, I need to get back on this horse. Quick.
Yeah.
Right? But instead, what happens, people get disappointed in themselves. They become frustrated. Oh man, I put 6 months into this. I've done all this. I've lost weight, and then I did this. And give up. And then they'll go like, well, I failed myself. And go into relapse. And relapse is when you literally give up and you start eating the old way again. You've got to really be careful, because that is when your brain is playing real games with you.
Yeah.
So you have got
The
to
brain
have
is stubborn, huh? It likes its old habits.
Yes, it likes to fall back. Remember, when you make changes, the synapses are still there, You've built new synapses, but the old ones are still there.
Yeah, that blueprint's
And so
still in there.
you can fall right back into that. It's easy to fall back into it. So you've got to remind yourself that if you relapse, you totally go off the wagon, go back to pre-contemplation, because you're in denial again. Go back to pre-contemplation and do the things that you did to remind you of why you were doing this journey in the first place. Start over. It's okay. There's nothing that says you can't start over, okay?
All right. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing I wanted to show you, I really believe in vision boards.
Okay.
When you have a vision board, it's something that your goals are on there, but it's pictorial. It's pictorial, and you want to put that vision board someplace. But before I do that, it's important to put SMART goals on your vision board. You want to put goals on there that you can actually achieve. You don't want to put things on there, I want to lose 200 pounds in the next 6 months. That is not realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, so your goals have got to be specific. You have to get down to the nitty-gritty. Make them small things, steps that you want to accomplish.
Yeah.
So you have to have specific steps that you wish to accomplish. They have to be measurable. I am going to cut back on eating red meat, right? So I'll only have red meat 1 time per week for the next 2 months, so that I can cut back. Because if you try to drop something all at once, it's not going to happen. You've got to have steps to getting there, right? So it's got to be achievable. Can you do it? Can you do it? If you know that you're not going to be able to, don't put it down as a goal right now. Put it down as a goal after you've done some of the smaller, you've accomplished some of the other things, right? It's got to be realistic. It's got to be something that you are able to achieve. And it's got to be time bound. You put a time on there. The young man had a goal, and he had a time by when he was going to lose the weight.
Yeah.
So you've got to be time bound. And then what you do with the vision board, you put pictures. So let's move to the next slide.
Yeah.
So this is a basic vision board. When you look at that, can you see any SMART goals there?
No.
Those are not SMART goals.
Nope.
Eat healthy. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Right? You
Save
really
money.
have to-
How much? Pay debts. Which one?
Right.
Phone parents. How often?
Quit smoking.
When?
So you got it. You got it. You understand. Exactly. So let's jump to the next vision board
Okay.
and look at that. So now what we've put on this one, and again, this is really a good one, but it's still
It's
more
better.
specific than the last one.
Yeah.
So this person wants to. Oh, by the way, I have all my clients do vision boards because a vision board helps you to visualize and manifest the things that you want to manifest for the year.
Yeah.
Right. So spiritually, this person wants to increase her presence with God.
Yeah.
Right. So she wants to do morning prayer and read a devotional reading every morning. That's pretty specific, right? It's also doable. It's measurable. This is what she wants: one reading, one prayer every morning to get closer to God. Mentally, she wants to do a journal. And in her journal, she is going to simply write 3 things she's grateful for. She's going to write what her goals are for the day in her morning pages, right? Physically, she wants to do a skincare routine every morning because she's getting pimples and whatnot. She wants to do a daily workout. I told her, you need to break that down. How long is your workout? What are you going to do? Are you going to be running? Decide what. She said, well, I want to be able to change around every day because I get bored. That makes sense, right? So, but she's already put down daily. So she plans to do this every day. What's the other one? What's the bottom one?
Intellectual podcasts.
Yes. She wants to listen to a podcast and look at and listen to some Christian music, right? And she wants to do some reading because she figures she wants to read a book a week, right? Hey, it's a lofty goal. I love it.
Yeah.
Relational wise, she wants to call her mom or call her sisters daily. And she says she has some friends who are kind of toxic. They gossip a lot. She wants to sort of ease herself away from that, and spend more time making new friends that are more into what she's doing. Financially, she wants to save, and we're talking about that rule about the 10% first to you in your credit union. So she wants to do that, and she wants to build some credit. So she wants to take some money and buy some furniture, but buy things a bit at a time so she can build credit to show that she's able to pay these things back. Yeah. And then personally, she wants to do affirmations. And this is throughout the day. There's an affirmation that she loved, which is, I am enough. I am enough. I have God with me and I need nobody else to affirm who I am. And so she's put that everywhere in her house. And she's going to have that as one of her main affirmations, but do some other affirmations throughout the day. And she wants to be consistent in everything that she has on this board. Now, I said to her, put this board someplace prominent where you have to see it. So she's putting it near her refrigerator so she can see it. And the board is easy. All you do is get yourself some Bristol board, something hard that you can put it up, and it's there to remind you that these are the things that you have made a commitment to yourself to accomplish for you. This is for you, for me, say it, for me, right? So that's it in a nutshell.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, I think it's easy to say you want to change something, but what you have done for us is really break it down into the how. And you know, we don't always know how to get started. And we can very easily get stuck with that lofty goal, or even it's maybe realistic, but we think it's lofty goal in our head and never move. But Jenny, I think you can get a lot of people to move in the right direction with your advice today.
And listen, if they don't want to write these things, they can put pictures.
Yeah.
Put a picture of the Bible, put a picture of your I have some of my kids who have done pictures and they're beautiful. I just couldn't get any of the stuff for to get here on time, right?
Yeah.
But use pictures, but put it. I have one beautiful one that one of my kids did. Oh my God, it's beautiful. She put so much effort into it, and she started making the changes before the year got started.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can do all year long. And as you go along and you meet your goal, put new goals on there.
Yeah.
Add that to your vision board. What the nice thing is, my kids at the end of the year, it's invariably, this is what happens. They'll call me and go, I need to see you, I need to see you. And then they'll come and bring the vision board. Look. I completed everything on my vision board. Because that's how you manifest. If you're seeing something every day and you're reinforcing that belief in that, it begins to manifest for you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Love it.
I do. I'm all excited about this.
Happy New Year, Jen. You're so
Happy New Year,
good at
guys.
this. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.
Ryan,
There you
it's
have it.
always a pleasure talking to Jenny.
That was a breakdown.
It was.
We want to do something. That's how to do it.
Yeah, and what Jenny did there was actually gave us the ability to see what realistically we can do to make easy changes in our lives. Now, of course, get your support group, like she mentioned, and try to maintain. If you have done the work already, maintain while you continue, and try to make sure that you're in best of health. All right, that's 2021 for you. But we need to take a break. When we come back, speaking of 2021 and making change. Why not change the way you eat? Why not change some of the things that you eat? Cornelio Marfield is going to be in with us. He'll be telling us about healthy substitutions for basic food items. That's when we come back. Stay with us.
These are the people who I want to appeal to. Make those little slips. It happens. You have to have a plan, ability to manage your problems effectively. How are you going to do it? Fall off the horse? Jump right back on.